produced more works over the past decade than any of us would care to remember. But you don't see many creative partnerships with that kind of staying power. So how did this whole thing start?
How does any productive relationship start? A single spark of inspiration. A delicate harmony between two nascent visions.
He was working on a musical called Ovaries of Thunder. The story of women's suffrage.
Yes. That's right. And I knew David to be a glowingly talented writer.
Oh, so you've always been a playwright?
No, I was a journalism major. I had literally no experience writing fiction. In fact, you might have seen my work in the New York.
I didn't.
He was so enamored with the script that he felt compelled to join his imagination with mine.
He asked me to proofread it. It was pretty... sort of... I recommended some cuts.
Oh, and you've been together ever since. A really great story, truly adorable. But just to be clear here, Hamilton, you come up with the concepts, write the scripts, draft the music. Is that right?
Yes, in some form or another.
Wow. So, David, what do you do then?
Well, I mean, I edit. You have to understand that Moonglow is a very creative person. In some form or another can mean a fully polished, professionally printed, and somehow notarized script, or a series of sketches written in the margin of TV Guide. I try to make sure that whatever he gives me ends up suitable for the stage, both practically and morally.
A latter-day Tennessee Williams. Now, let's move on to Bird of Wood. I think all of us here would agree that it's your most recent work.
Quite right.
Can you give us an idea of the concept?
I've always appreciated the way that Stoppard's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead elevated the lesser characters of an existing work and so established a sense of vibrancy and orgiacity in the fictional world beyond the confines of the original narrative. I wanted to attempt the same sort of achievement, but with less narrative complexity and more music. My favorite Shakespeare has always been Macbeth. And the Bird of Wood, my favorite minor character. So I asked David to mock the script, and the rest, as they say, was a musical that we wrote.
So your favorite character from Macbeth was the Bird of Wood?
Yes. Very enigmatic. Very understated.
It's a forest.
Oh, yes.
It's more of a setting than a character.
Well, it does move that one time.
I must concede that point.
David did a wonderful job building upon that premise.
Yes, David, how did you go about writing those songs? I've always been partial to 24 Kinds of Tree in Scotland, and sometimes it rains here.
I always thought that soldiers are cutting us down. Oh no! Was the real heart of the thing. Yeah, thanks. I spent about an hour and a half with a copy of Macbeth and a field guide to Scotland, which, as about 300 fans have informed me, pretty seriously underestimated the variety of trees. Message received, guys! So I think we can all stop sending letters now, thanks!
Ooh, but your real breakaway hit was Stationary Trees. What can you tell us about the process there?
Actually, I wrote that one. A lovely sense of calm before the storm.
How does it fit into the play, though, conceptually, as you've clarified the trees do move that one time?
Exactly. By the climax of the play, the force is mad with chaos. An absolute blender of dynamic expression. If we can build up a sense of tranquility, and then shatter it, the impact will be far greater than if we simply spend the entire play screaming. We learned that lesson back in 2003 with German men screaming.
Lords of experience, ladies and gentlemen, Stationary Trees.
Trees, trees, stationary trees in the forest. Trees, trees, stationary trees in the forest.
Where are these trees?
In the arboretum. That is where you are gonna meet them. Trees, stationary trees in the forest.
I think that you should know we do when we grow.
But that doesn't really count because it's really slow. Oh, trees, stationary trees in the forest. But what about the wind that makes it sway and bend?
It had to do your inquisition. It has to be of our own volition.
Trees, trees, stationary trees in the forest.
Doesn't just spend his time writing musicals. He is a true humanitarian. We wouldn't be here tonight in this beautiful theater if not for his philanthropic work. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing some good work. I mean, anyone who saw A Face Full of Crystal, Meth in America, knows that he's using his art to pursue social injustices, helping to make us all a little bit more socially aware. But unlike Facebook, which ran for months and shared its message with literally tens of people, some of these services never get to see an audience. Tonight, I have a number we can guarantee none of you have seen before. A revealing song from 2006's musical adaptation of the Cambodian genocide. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time ever,
No! Shut it down! No! Get the hell off the stage!
I'm really going to deny the audience a brand new song.
That song is a hate crime.
If they really want to hear the song, I can see no reason why they shouldn't. It's about time it had an audience. I can't tell you how much it took out of me when the government shut down the killing fields.
What?
No, that was the name of the song. I promise you, he is deeply opposed to genocide.
The government shut down your play?
Yes, the government decided that it was so raw and emotionally devastating that it might negatively impact the psychological well-being of citizens, or even instigate riots, right? Yeah, so they decided to shut it down just 2 weeks before we started rehearsals. Oh, Moonglow was devastated when we received the letter. God damn it.
Seriously? And you never tried to change their mind?
Well, of course we did. David wrote dozens of letters, but it was no use. Ultimately, it is the prerogative of the government to choose which plays may be performed.
But is it really?
When they first stopped us from performing Boots, A Day in the Life of an African-American Child, I was devastated. But one learns to deal with the disappointment in time. I feel worse for David. The shock of receiving those letters.
This is, wow. Okay. So I guess if you run into Hamilton during the intermission here, steer the conversation away from politics.
Not at all. They should feel free to discuss whatever they like.
No, they really probably shouldn't. Okay, next up we have the fruit song, better known to most of you as Strange Peach, I believe. What can you tell us about the process here?
Yes. One of my favorite character pieces. The young man. David, what did we decide to call him again?
You decided to call him Hamilton Aldershot.
Yes. Hamilton Aldershot. I see something in myself in the character. The young man sees the tree that he has planted at the play's beginning finally bear fruit. Kind of a subtle counterpoint to his own development. This song follows a climactic moment in which he finally tastes the fruit. A very passionate moment in its own way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Young Fruit, as performed by Hamilton Aldershot.
I see you hanging strong and firm, your skin so soft, your skin so smooth. You seem to look me in the eye, and my warm caress. There is just one thing I need. So I put it in my mouth. I taste it sweet upon my tongue. And with my teeth I pierce its flesh. For just a moment